Hello friends, I have an exciting news to share with you. After around 4 years of doing YouTube videos, I'm launching SupeRails.com, a place where you can watch all the videos from YouTube plus exclusive member-only content, and I'm trying to make it as good as possible. Now, previously, I tried making actually a code alone series about how I am building SupeRails. But after 19 episodes, I understood that I can't really make it because it was consuming too much of my time, and I would need, I think, like 200 or more episodes to really make it good. You can't really think of concepts and spend a lot of time just, yeah, just thinking while you are live coding. You should be delivering something, right? So yes, I have built SupeRails, and here's the source code for SupeRails. And if you are a subscriber to SupeRails, then you will have access to the code base that you can explore on your own. So basically, how does SupeRails work? The three core elements, the most important element is the videos. So there are free videos and pro videos. On the videos page, you can filter by pro or free and by many different other parameters. Free videos are accessible to anybody. So let me open a free video, and you see I can watch it. And if I open a pro video, you need to be subscribed to be able to watch it. Now you see this user, he is subscribed, so he can see this pro video, but if I log out or if I log in as an unsubscribed user, I will not be able to view this video. So I see this paywall and I am prompted to subscribe. Then I've got playlists. It is series of videos that are best to watch in the specific order. And there are also tags, just videos that share something in common. Now, let's have a look at the source code for SupeRails. So I've actually got the application cloned locally. Let's have a look at it. So whenever I start looking at a new application, I usually start from the README. And after the README, I go to the Gemfile. So what do you have in the Gemfile? Now, everything is more or less standard. So Rails, latest stable version, PropShaft, PostgreSQL. I've got request.js that is not present in the default Rails installation that I am using to make post and get requests with JavaScript. So actually, this search is done with request.js. So I am typing here, and I make a request from JavaScript and return a turbo stream as a response. And you see I have playlists, tags, and videos in the response. Then I'm obviously using Tailwind. I'm using Good Job for processing jobs. I'm not using Sidekick because I don't want to have Redis as a dependency. And I'm not using SolidQ because SolidQ just didn't exist when I created this application. Nowadays, maybe I would use SolidQ by default, but Good Job is doing the job. And it's good, yeah, I'm just repeating myself. Then I'm using ERB-lint and Rubocop to clean up my HTML and Ruby code. These are, I think, very important gems for you to have. And I'm using Faker. Now, in theory, I could just get rid of Faker because I'm using fixtures for my tests, but I do need Faker to mock my OmniAuth responses. I could, in theory, try abstracting it also and getting rid of Faker. Then I'm using the gem I18 tasks for translations. You see in the application I have two languages, English and Spanish. So all the texts are available in English and Spanish. Then this is just for system tests. Then in the application have authentication only via OAuth. So you see you can log in with GitHub, with Google on Apple. Now, initially I was thinking of doing device and just log in with the email and password, but then I didn't want to connect an email service and think about email deliverability, email confirmations, resetting passwords. So I thought to go just with the social login flows. And also in theory, if you are building a content, a private content sharing system like Netflix, you would want to fight against password sharing, maybe. So with social logins, it is harder for users to share passwords. Then I'm using Stripe to process payments and subscriptions. OctoKit, because whenever a user subscribes and his subscription is active, he automatically gets access to the SupeRails codebase. You see it is a private repository, but as a subscribed user, you have access. Then Honeybadger for error monitoring, Google API client. I'm using this one for the YouTube API. So I get the video data from YouTube. We'll see more about it later. And ROR versus while for performance monitoring. Let's have a look at the ROR versus while dashboard. So here is the dashboard where I see the worst performing pages and maybe queries in my application, and I can improve them. I can also see errors. Let's take last 24 hours. So there were a few errors, but by now I have already fixed them. Then I'm using AWS S3 for storage, and the only thing I'm storing in the application is the video thumbnails like this. So the videos themselves are not stored in the application, they are actually embedded as an external either YouTube player or Vimeo player. Then active storage validations to ensure that the images that are uploaded are actually images and that they don't have too big of a file size. Acts as list to be able to order videos in a playlist. You see this one is first, second, and third, but I can change the order if I like. Acts as votable because users can add a video to a bookmark or mark the video as completed. Let me try doing this. So I will mark like these videos as bookmarked, this one as completed. And if I go to the list of lessons, I can filter by bookmarked or completed lessons. Friendly ID, because if I'm trying to share records, URLs in the socials, it looks better if the URL is more descriptive than just giving an ID to a record. Pagey for infinite pagination here. You see I've got the list of posts, and whenever I scroll down, there's this infinite pagination going on. Pundit, I need it in this application, I think, only for AVO policy. Yeah, so I'm using Pundit only for AVO. Ransack, because it provides a wonderful API for searching inside Active Record, and I'm using Ransack for this search sidebar. Noticed for the notifications. Actually, I tried going without Noticed and building my own notification system, but in the end, I ended up with an API that was similar to Noticed, and it didn't make sense to build my own thing, whereas I could use this gem. So it is a good gem, and I recommend to use it. Then view components. I actually have quite a lot of components in the application, and I scope the logic within the components. So there's, for example, this where is it? Card component. Oh yeah, base item component that a few other components inherit from and reuse different elements from this component. Then meta tags, so that the images I share on socials have nice previews. For example, I'm sharing a link to this video, and you see this is a meta image, this is a meta description, so it looks quite good when shared on socials. Then inline SVG, so all the SVGs in the application are rendered using the gem inline SVG. If you search for SVG in the code base, you see all the SVGs are just the SVG files themselves. I don't render SVGs inline in the HTML at all. And I think it's very good because if you just see something like this in your HTML, you cannot process it with your head. But I use inline SVG tag, and I will usually know, I will see the name and I will know what SVG I'm actually using. Then red carpet and rouge for markdown and syntax highlighting inside markdown. I use these. If I go to lessons, let's have a look at the comments. So here, for example, I have a code block and some inline code elements, and they get highlighted and they get displayed as markdown. Then sitemap generator, because if you go to /sitemap.xml, you see it will prompt you to download the sitemap, and I submit the sitemap to search engines. Rails I18N for translations, active link to. Actually, previously I made a video highlight, link to current page, where we implemented our own solution for highlighting link to current page, but with time I grew to learn that it is just better to use this gem that already has all the possible cases covered. And finally, I'm using Avo and Avo Pro for the backend. So let's actually try logging into the backend of the application. I can go to any of the lessons, and as an admin, I can open Avo. Here I have, I'm looking at the specific post from which I opened it. You see I have the check mark to mark the episode pro or free. I have a title, the body of the episode. I can edit it, like add a new cover image. I can add tags or add this episode to a playlist. And here I have a list of all my episodes in Avo. I can also view them as a grid, and this looks actually much better, but it displays less information. That's the trade-off between a table view and a grid view. Also, I have some filters to see only the published videos or only the unpublished videos. And I have some actions. We'll come back to them later. Then I've got the playlists, I've got tags. So I do kind of all the content management from Avo. And again, a list of all the mentions and a list of all the comments in the application. I also have users and plans. I'm not going to show them for the video and for privacy. And I also have the jobs from Good Job. So yeah, it's the Good Job dashboard. And I also have Ferrum. Let's see where I use Ferrum. So I use it to generate Open Graph images. So basically, I use Ferrum to navigate to these URLs, take screenshots, and store the screenshots in the application. And whenever I share a link on socials to, for example, the pricing page or to the text page, then this is going to be taken as the Open Graph preview image. Okay, so we had a look at the Gemfile. Let's actually try running the application. I will say bundle, then Rails db drop db create db migrate, and let's run bin dev. So we are starting the server and going to run SupeRails on localhost. So by running bin dev, let's have a look at the proc file. We run the Rails server, we run the changes in Tailwind, we start the good job worker, and we also listen to the Stripe webhooks on localhost. So here I have the application. You see I don't have any lessons. Let's try logging in. I already have my secret credentials set up, so I can log in. And I'm automatically redirected to the pricing page. I don't have any lessons, nothing. Now let's make this user an admin. So I will say Rails console user.count 1 user.first.update admin true. Let's quit and start the Rails server once again. Now I refresh the page. And here you see the user now has admin access. Let's actually change the language back to English. So let's go to admin. Okay, I'm in the admin console. I have just one user and none of anything else. And in the post, I have this action to import videos from YouTube. Now, how does it work? Let's have a look at Avo. So Avo posts. So we have this post resource, and here we have actions. Inside actions, we have this YouTube list videos job. Let's open this job and see. It runs so this job from Avo, this action runs the YouTube list videos job, and the YouTube list videos job makes a request to my API key for YouTube and it tries to get all the videos from a channel. Actually, I set it to get just 5 videos on development. So it's going to make an API call to YouTube, get my videos, and store them in my application using this create video job. So here I'm creating posts based on the API response from YouTube. Let's try running this job. Going back to the console, you see a lot of good jobs are running. Let's refresh, and here I have imported a few videos. Okay, here they are. Looks quite good. I can open one of the videos and let's mark it as a pro video. So let's navigate back to the application, and here you see you need to be subscribed to view this video, but you can view all the other videos without a subscription. So let's click on this button and actually subscribe. I'm going to initiate the subscription. So you see it is opening the Stripe checkout. In this case, it is an embedded Stripe checkout. Let's input our card information, name. You see, I also have enabled this checkmark to I'm purchasing as a business so that the companies can return VAT. And you need to agree to the terms of service and privacy. In theory, you can also upgrade to have 2 months free with an annual subscription. Let's click to subscribe, and let's see what's happening in the background. So here's the subscription going on, a lot of webhooks and so on. Let's have a look at the Stripe webhooks controller. Oh, you see, I have subscribed. So you see, I have the subscription. You see subscription active, next billing date, uh, current plan features, and I have the button to manage billing. Okay, let's have a look at the webhooks controller. So here is the create action. I'm doing the authentication. Then I handle the subscriptions. So when the subscription has been created, I update the plan of the user. And if the user subscription is active, then I invite him to access the GitHub private repositories like SupeRails.com, and also an user with an active subscription has access to the pro videos. So let's now try having a look at one of the pro videos. Going back, let's open the pro video, and you see I can view this video. Now going back to my profile, I can go to manage billing, and it opens the Stripe billing portal where you can either cancel a subscription or upgrade the subscription and see the billing history. So you see, I'm trying to outsource as much payment logic from my application to Stripe as possible. But there are a few things that I still keep in my application. For example, the logic of being subscribed. Is the user subscribed or not? So a user has one plan. And when a user is created, we create the plan for the user. So let's have a look at the plan. Basically, the plan is the place where we store all the information about the current subscription. You see, we have user plan update, and we update the user's plan whenever he has changed his subscription status in Stripe. And here the main thing is to check whether the subscription is active. It is active if the end date of the subscription is in the future, and if the subscription status column in Stripe is also active. So going back to the application, here the user is active and he can manage his billing. Looks good. Now, I was thinking of maybe using a gem like Pay to manage subscriptions, but actually doing subscriptions with Stripe without any additional gems except just the Stripe API gem was enough. Okay, so we had a look at subscriptions. Now, usually after having a look at the Gemfile, I have a look at the schema. So let's have a look at what models there are in the application. So we've got a lot for active storage attachments. It's all for attaching images to posts. Then we've got comments. A post can have multiple comments. Initially, I was thinking of doing comments polymorphic because a comment can belong to a post and to a comment within a comment. Let's have a look at some comments. So let's go to lessons, most commented. You see there's this tree of comments, and each of these comments belongs to the post, so we can know how many comments the post has in total, but each of them can, in theory, also belong to another comment. And you see it's quite easy to build this kind of comment trees, and you can reply to any and create new trees. I will open one of them, and you see I can, each comment has its own page, and I can go one level up, and or just view the post with all the comments. So I'm quite happy with the way the comment structure is built. Then we've got the good job tables, quite a few of them. Then mentions, so you can mention other users, like at somebody, and the user should get a notification that he has been mentioned. Uh, Noticed events notifications, so it is again for this feature to have an inbox with mentions or information about new videos being published. Then we've got plans. We already talked about plans. A user has one plan. And then the main logic of the application. So a lesson can be in a playlist, so in multiple playlists, and a lesson can have multiple tags. So post has many playlists through playlist posts. Post has many tags through post tags. This is the core of the application itself, what the application is delivering. Then we've got the users table, and again, I even don't need to have an email for the user because all the users sign in with their social accounts, so email can be null in my case. And votes for acts as votable that I'm using for bookmarks and marking lessons as complete. Okay, so we had a look at the schema, and usually after looking at the Gemfile and the schema, I also have a look at the roots of the application to have a good understanding of what is generally going on. So this is all generated by a new Rails 8 applications generation, then sitemap to submit to the search engines, feed to submit to RSS readers, a few static pages about the application, then the authentication. You see it is all built from ground up without device and any other external libraries, just the OmniAuth libraries. Then only a user that has an admin role can access Avo to manage the content, and good job to see the job processing. I've got testimonials. Again, only a signed in user can access the checkout, the billing portal, obviously. Notifications, read all. So here I have this kind of clear button of read all to hide all notifications. I click it, and you see the notifications are empty now. The pricing page, the Stripe webhook that has to be accessible without setting current user. Search for this global search that is accessible on any page. Posts have many comments. A post can be marked complete or watchlisted. The landing page, so static index. Playlists, only index and show. On the front end, they cannot be managed. It is all managed like creation, editing, deleting is managed through Avo. And the tree of comments. So you see the roots are also quite simplistic. Now, I've actually written quite a lot of tests in the application. I'm using Minitest, and I'm trying to leverage fixtures as much as possible. Initially, I was more used to using OSPEC and factories, but I came to like fixtures, and they say that reusing fixtures is faster than reusing factories. Okay, so yes, this is a basic overview of the application. So we managed to have a look at the basics of the code base. We managed to launch the application locally, set ourselves as an admin, and access the Avo content management part of the application, where we can create new posts. We can import them from YouTube if you have the API keys, and add the post to a playlist or add text to a post. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I invite you to subscribe to SupeRails It will really help me keep creating good videos for you to watch and learn from. And yes, if you subscribe, you also get access to the SupeRails code base. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.